Hey, what up, guys? Welcome to the Do Work Podcast. I am your host, Andy Dooley, aka Mr. Do Work. And if this is your first time here, this is where we have conversations with highly successful people in their sphere of influence. You will hear inspirational stories that can help motivate and inspire you to step out of your acceptable to exceptional. You will learn about the turning points when it all changed for them to truly commit and focus on attaining their goals. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm extremely excited to welcome my next guest. She is a humble beast, hailing from Arizona, an unforgettable personality and work ethic, who is an industry leader, a social media rock star, athlete, model, and fitness coach. After becoming the self-proclaimed queen of workouts on Instagram through social media, she continues to engage with her followers around the world to spread her love for fitness. This fitness icon attended Arizona State University. She aims to fit 7 workouts per week into her busy schedule as an entrepreneur giant in the making. Yes, I didn't misspeak. Every day she gets moving. She enjoys mixing HIIT with traditional CrossFit, creating her own style of workouts. Trust me, guys, I've experienced it myself. She never has the same workout twice. She constantly changes her training. No 2 days are going to be exactly the same. The same should apply to your fitness regimen, which I love. She has appeared in Men's Health magazine and on Good Morning America, the founder of the Queen Team. I present to you and welcome my good friend, Alexia Clark.
Wow. How's it going?
It's going well. How are things with you?
Good. That was quite the intro. Thank you.
I take pride in making sure you guys feel honored. And sometimes you just forget how amazing you are. All the things you're doing so much and you're just moving so fast. And sometimes it's probably awkward sometimes to hear me sing your praises face to face, but.
Well, you forgot the most important thing, that we have been friends forever.
Yes.
And, we go way back. So, I mean,
that's true.
That's really key and important. Like, I value our friendship over, everything. So
yeah, 100%. And like, for those who don't know, Alexia and I met through like a campaign through Reebok called The Face of Reebok. And, to be honest, as soon as we connected, it just was a natural friendship. I felt like it was very organic. It was, it was a competition, but I didn't feel like any competitive spirit towards you or anything like that. We all wanted to do well and win, but when we made the top 4, it was, it was like all of us won pretty much, What was that like for you? Because I know during that process, what I was going through on the back end, and then all of our journeys converging to meeting up for the first time. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I look at, that whole experience just like really any other experience. It was just really great to connect and meet. Like, I never thought of it as a competition. I never felt like there was any kind of bad feelings towards, anyone. And it just really turned into something where we built a lot of great relationships, a lot of great friendships through it all. And that's really kind of how I viewed it the whole way through.
Right. And, I remember sitting down talking to you, and you were always you were just always making a different workouts. You were never conventional in the sense of like, we're just going to do this movement, these compound movements. You always were mixing it up, keeping it spicy. Like, what was that for you that made you have that kind of approach about your workouts?
I always make sure so I think that sometimes this gets kind of confusing for people is because I do a different workout every single day. I've never, ever done the same workout. But that doesn't mean I don't stick to like the core basic staple exercises like squats, deadlifts, push press. Those are all so important to do, but that doesn't mean I do the same sequence every time. I always change it up. I always also add in different combination movements, full body exercises. And I think that is really what has, changed the game for me and my types of workouts, is that I do stick with the staple exercises, which are so important to do. build strength in those, but also working in these different full body exercises just makes a huge difference in your mind muscle connection. It works on the
Yes.
small muscle groups that are going to go to support you becoming stronger in the staple exercises. And so that's really why I work those in, and I do different workouts every time so my body doesn't get used to this routine of doing the same thing over and over. I try to put my body in a different situation every single workout that I'm in, just like you do with every single day that you approach in life. No day is the same. Every day is different. And you want to be able to appreciate that and appreciate the way that your just how life is. And on top of that, it makes it fun. Like, it doesn't make it so you have to go into a workout and think, oh, here I go, it's a routine, it's what I'm doing. It can be fun, it could be different, and that's kind of how I like to look at life.
That's awesome. I felt like when we were following each other on Instagram during the time, I felt like we were very similar in that sense. Like we would do different types of workouts. I never like doing the same routine over and over because I put myself in a client's position. If you came to me every day, every week, and we did the same boring thing, my goodness, why would they stay with you?
Right.
Why wouldn't they just hop on YouTube or watch someone else and find something new? But when you're keeping it spicy and different, I think it's super awesome and authentic to like your brand. And being in the fitness industry right now and doing so much more, because we can go into a ton, even with what you do with kids and stuff like that. Do you feel like you have found your authentic voice within the industry?
Yeah, I've kept my authentic voice all through, even when I became a trainer and I was doing one-on-ones in small group. I've always been authentic and true to myself and true to my clients, because I really believe in giving the client what they need and being there for them. And I think that the most important thing is to always be yourself. And I think that kind of sometimes gets lost in social media. If you're always trying to be someone else, it's just not gonna work. You're not gonna ever feel like you, and you're not gonna be able to speak to it because it's not gonna really be who you believe in. So staying authentic through it all, no matter how big or small you are, is so important.
I think you hit on such a great point in the sense of, I preach that all the time. Please just be yourself, because imagine presenting an avatar of who you are and everyone gets used to that, and that's not really who you are.
Right.
How strenuous and tough is that to try to keep that up on a regular basis?
I think if you're always true to yourself and you're always being who you are, I don't think that should be hard.
Right.
It makes it so much easier. If you're always trying to be somebody else or put on a face, then you're always having that in the back of your head, and that can be so stressful. So as long as you you connect and you talk with yourself and kind of just like have that headspace and think about everything that you do, it should be easy. It should be just you.
I agree. Now, for a newcomer, they're like, I'm just getting into fitness. I see on Instagram, there's so many, it's so saturated with fitness. How did you be able to decipher what direction you were going to go? Because, obviously you could be the scientific trainer, you can be technique trainer, which I know you're super huge on, which I love that you're huge on technique. Then there's the, I'm going to show off my body, booty pics every day. You're going to see squat angles all the time. How did you choose which direction you went? And you find a way to keep it classy, but you still show your hard work.
It all goes back to just being who you are. I've never been the kind of person who wants to bring attention in different weird ways. I've always, when I started posting things on social media, it was never about me. I never did it because I thought I was going to grow a huge following or anything. I put exercises out there, and I wanted to make sure that my clients and the viewers understood what I was doing and why I was doing that exercise. So when I put it out there, it was always about form. It was about, hey, look at this exercise. Don't look at my body. look at the exercise. And I really wanted to get that across because I think it's so important if somebody's going to try an exercise to do it correctly so that they get
Yeah.
the most benefit out of it. But on top of that, to never get hurt.
Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Because I just feel like, there's sometimes the post that I'm going to do this crazy thing that wouldn't make any sense. And then someone who is not familiar or been in the game for a while, they'll try it and then they get themselves hurt. And then now you're just in a place where like, well, I learned that from Alexia, And so for me, I just feel like, I think it's amazing how you've built on that and created literally an entire brand around just who you actually are. And watching your maturation process from afar has been exciting, but then also inspiring, and then just really cool to see where you're at right now. How do you feel like the steps you took got you to the place that you are now? Because there's obviously a great business sense and maybe a team that's around you. But as an entrepreneur listening to this episode or this podcast, what would you say was your key ingredient to being able to start building what you've built so far?
Honestly, I think it's passion. If you really believe in what you do, you have a passion for what you do, it won't feel like work, and you're going to want to do it, and it's going to come through, and people are going to feel it. It's not going to be something that is forced. If you really, really love what you do and you have something to tell people, they'll see that and they'll feel it. And you'll definitely see how people appreciate that you're being real.
Yeah. And I think what people don't understand, I've known you since 2015.
That's
and
crazy.
Crazy. It's 2020 right now.
I know.
And I'm telling you guys, genuinely, you guys know how real I am. The Alexia Clark you see right now is the same Alexia Clark I met in 2015. There is
dance. That has not changed.
She still can't dance, but she can if you choreograph it right, she'll be able to find it. Okay. Don't let her tell you she can't do it. Okay. But I want to tell you right now, what I'm loving on your social media is your personality is coming through that much more. I feel like the quirky side of you, your unique sense of humor are awesome that are coming out. So today, guys, you guys don't know, she tagged me in a challenge today. Burpees without your hands. I was like, what? And I clicked on it. And Alexia's got her hands behind her back, rolling around, getting up. Going back down to the ground, rolling around, and getting back up.
Honestly, you have to try it, because once you get up, you're like, how am I going to get back down? Because you can't just flop on there. So you have to, I don't know. It's hard. It's fun, though.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I just think it's fun to do things that are silly, but also have like a fitness side of it. I mean, I did one before that was how many squats can you do balancing a book on your head? And it's fun because you're trying not to get that book to fall off your head. But on top of that, it's helping you with form. So it's just really fun to be able to find different fun ways to work fitness into your life, especially if you're at home right now with everything going on.
Oh my gosh. I think that was perfect. It's a perfect example of like you not taking things so serious. Mm-hmm. Because when we get caught up, like at where you're at right now in your career, you could be in a place where everything's so serious. It's hard for you to smile on a regular basis because you're so focused on what other people think. Everyone's going to have an opinion, guys. Everyone's going to have something to say. But then I feel like for the most part, you align yourself with positivity. And how do you know how to align yourself with the right people, who to connect with, who to stay in contact with? Because, I mean, as you're building, and some people may think it's so fast, but it's been 5 years, not even that, before we met. So I've only seen 5 years of your work, not even thinking back, like before we met, all the work you put in. So
Mhm.
how do you choose who to align with and who to stay connected with, who to cut off and leave out? How do you do that?
Yeah, I think it all depends on how do you feel when you're interacting with that person? Are they bringing you stress? How do you feel after connecting with them? And if somebody is bringing you down, makes you feel more stressed or sad or bad about
Mm,
yourself, then it's probably a great. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like, I cut you off and we're never going to be friends again and this is
right.
over. But you can be friends from a distance with somebody. Like you can always be kind, always be nice, but just keep your distance and know that and figure out what is healthy for you and what's good for your heart and your mind.
You hit another gem. Perfect answer, Alexia. I think it's so good because sometimes there are people that ooh, you're wrong for me. You're not supposed to be in my circle. But some people go to the extreme and just cut them off and they're like super rude or mean to them.
Mm.
You don't have to be that way. You
Mm-mm.
don't have to be that way. You personally know, okay, I know where I keep this person, but you still stay cordial, kill them with kindness. And I think that's your approach. And I feel like that's beneficial because at the end of the day, you never know. You never know if that person may need you or vice versa one day, So I think you can see that with you and you can see how that impacts what you're doing right now. Now, I look at everything you've like accomplished and done so far, and I remember seeing you like on the sidelines at a Patriots game.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I got an email in from somebody that said that they had been following me and doing my workouts, and that it just was really something that inspired them, it motivated them through a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it turned into a friendship where we were able to connect and go to a Patriots game.
That's awesome. Do you enjoy playing, I mean, watching football?
Yes, football is like my favorite sport to watch. Football and basketball, they're just like very, very exciting. I can't watch baseball.
I know. Oh
It's
my
just like
gosh.
I'm like, what inning are we in? Is
I
it raining
know.
yet?
And that was the first game we went to.
Yeah,
We
baseball, yeah.
we went to a baseball game and then
Football and basketball are definitely my favorite sports to watch.
yeah, same here. I'm a diehard. I even tried playing baseball when I was younger and I
Yeah,
got hit with the ball. Never again.
that hurts. I played
Yes.
baseball, but I was not. I was somewhere else in my mind. It was not playing.
What sports did you play? All the sports that you play.
I played all kinds of sports growing up when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But the sports that I was actually like pretty good at in high school, considering I went to an extremely small high school, was
Uh-huh.
volleyball and basketball.
Oh, okay. Volleyball. You know what? I could see you playing volleyball.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I'm not very tall, but
Yeah.
I was I was one of the setters. So
Yeah.
you're in the back, you were a setter, and then when you're in the front, you would hit. And it's really funny because I can't jump or anything, but I was able to kind of like hit it over the net.
The reason I can see you play is because you're tenacious. You're
Yeah.
so I don't think people, at least when I first saw you, when I first met you, I was like, she looks athletic. But then the savagery that's attached to you, people, I don't know if people realize. I remember watching you take some people through a workout, and I was like, oh my gosh, she is a sav.
I mean, I still have scars on my knees and shoulders and
I
everything.
believe
I'm like
it.
diving for the ball, and yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. You're not one of those people I wouldn't say would be scared to get her hands dirty.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So in school, you played sports. I
Mhm.
see that you're an avid reader, right? You like to read.
I do. I would say that I try to read as much as I can, but what has been easier for me to do right now, just based on schedule and everything, is listen to podcasts or listen to books
Yeah.
um, online or audiobooks. It just makes it a lot. You can multitask.
Oh,
I'm a
for
big,
sure.
big multitasker over here.
Yes, I believe it. Same here. For some reason, I stopped listening to music at the gym in this little season of my life, and I've been just overdosing on podcasts and audiobooks. What would you say is your top 3 podcasts? Or audiobooks, like the one that you've recently listened to?
Well, for the podcast, what I like Ben Greenfield. I like listening to Church Home, Judah Smith Church Home. I like Chad Beach. I like Tim Ferriss. Dr. Caroline Leaf has a great podcast. I like to mix it up with, I listen to church on podcasts, and then I also listen to a lot of informative, like health and fitness things and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm literally right down the street from Church Home.
I love Church Home.
Yeah. You know, I moved back to Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It just felt so much better being on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I'm a West Coaster.
Yeah.
I see the weather though in Arizona. My God.
It is hot.
How long does that last throughout, like season wise? Like right now?
4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I have a friend moving there at the end of this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're praying for her. So before, I want to make sure I honor your time. During this season of life, obviously with quarantining and COVID, how have you maintained not like falling off into the deep end of snacks and laziness?
I do love snacks. I think that the most important thing is to schedule, like make a schedule for yourself, a daily schedule. Like don't think like, oh, I'll work out sometime today. Schedule it in either in the morning, or if you want to take a break around your lunch period, or even if you're working, you can work for an hour and then do 10-15 minutes exercise, work for an hour and do another 10 or 15 minutes of exercise. Just try to schedule it in. If you make an appointment for it, then you'll definitely do it. If it's kind of just like, I'll get to it if I have time, then most likely it's not going to work. And then as far as snacks go and everything, try to, when you're grocery shopping, whether you're at the store or doing your online shopping, try not to buy the bad snacks. Try to find snacks that are good, because if you have like the bad things laying around, that's what you're going to go to first. If you're getting hungry or if you need something quick, you'll just grab a bag of chips or something like that. But if you have like, even if you buy already sliced vegetables, it is like more expensive to do that if you don't find the time to slice vegetables yourself, but it's an easier thing to grab instead of thinking, oh, I have to do the steps to cut the vegetables up. But buying like vegetables, hummus, different types of dips to dip veggies in, like roasted chickpeas. And then even if you are feeling like you want to make something, you can always make like little protein balls, having fruit and nuts around, just those types of things.
That's awesome. So I noticed with your community, with your website, and honestly, after we did a workout together, which was fun. Your community is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Your Queen team, shout outs to the Queen team. They're awesome. They aren't afraid of any challenge.
No, they're not. Like it's honestly, I've never been a part of a community like this. And it's just so amazing to see how they lift each other up. Nobody judges anybody. Nobody brings the other person down. From the very start, when somebody enters the Queen team, it's like, we welcome them with open arms and are there to just cheer them on in life, no matter what, whether it's a workout, whether it's something that they're dealing with. We're always going to be there, checking in, doing all those things. And it's just honestly the greatest group, the greatest community.
I agree. I feel like if someone's listening to this and they're in a place where they need to get started with their fitness or revamping, why would they choose Queen Team?
Because it doesn't matter if it's your first day one or it's your 10th day one. The thing about the Queen team is they're there to help each other through things. So if you are starting off and you're like, I'm a little scared, I'm a beginner, I've never touched a weight before, Not only do you have me where you can reach out to me on email and I can give you tips along the way, and I have a lot of videos that will help you get started, but the
Yeah.
Queen Team's there because there's so many people that have been in that exact same place as you, and they have tips on how they got started. They'll include you in their workout time. Like, so there's a 5 a.m. club, there's a 6 a.m. club. They'll be like, hey,
Hmm.
come join us. And you just, right from the get-go, feel included in the
Yeah.
community. It's not like you start and then you're an outsider and you got to kind of work your way in. It's when you start, you're a part of the family.
Yeah. So obviously that starts from up top.
Yeah.
That's your vision, your heart, who you are. So how do you, because this is not, because there's a lot of things out there, but I've never, other than I've seen Beachbody have like a similar type of deal, I've never seen such a community of people like rally around each other like I've seen with the Queen Team. How do you get, okay, someone comes to the door portal online and they come on. Is it already embedded with everyone that when someone new come in, make them feel warm and welcome? And then that's how it starts?
Yeah, I mean, I have a Facebook group, and then there's the big,
Ah,
community on Instagram. Instagram doesn't really have like the group that you can create and everything like that, but there's different hashtags you can use to find other Queen Team members on there. But with
yeah,
a Facebook group, you can come in there and be like, hey, I'm new, I'm from, wherever, and you
yeah.
can meet friends through there. And then, there's been so many incredible friendships that have been built
Mm-hmm.
online.
Yeah,
I had a retreat last year, and there were so many women that came and they just connected. It felt like they had never, that like they just knew everyone. Like, I don't even know how to
right.
explain it, because you build all these amazing friendships and you become best friends with somebody that lives on the other side of the world. And then when you finally meet in person, it's just this like incredible moment where you've like all been brought together. And it's just amazing. You, no matter where you travel now, you'll always have a friend if you're on the Queen Team.
That's so true because so many of them are from, I mean, some of them that have like commented on my page or your page, they're from all over the world. And I mean, like, you're seeing them, like, I may be sleeping, I wake up and I see that they're doing this. And I'm just like, hold on, where are they at? And then I look and they're across the pond. And it's super amazing to watch. It's really cool to see. And I think it's such a great testament to who you are, what you're
You.
doing, and it's clearly a passion of yours. It's clearly a passion of yours. Um, do you have mentors in your life? Who's guiding you and leading you? Because you're such a huge mentor for others. You're like steady pouring out to these girls on the Queen Team. Who do you have in your life that kind of pours into you or helps lead you and guide you?
Yeah, honestly, I would say that my biggest mentor is God. I mean, it's really who you talk to the most.
That's
And
so good. Say that again. Say that again.
God is my mentor because, it's really who you talk to the most. You are completely raw with that person. They lead you, they
Hmm.
guide you, and, um, they want you to, or he wants you to just give your heart to him and be true to everybody else. And that's what I really try to do with everyone, and especially the Queen Team, is I want to give them my heart and like everything that I have to help them
Yeah.
succeed and help them to know that I care about them and love them so much. So
I
yeah.
think I think that was so good. Who you talk to the most? Wow.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, there's a lot of Christians out there who won't even, who don't necessarily talk to God on a regular basis. So it wouldn't even be who I talk to the most, which is a very powerful statement.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times we think that talking to God has to be like get down on your knees and
Mm-hmm.
pray to God, like thank you for my
Right.
day, thank you for everything. But you can just be, in a workout and just be having a conversation with God. It doesn't have to be anything that's formal. You don't have to get down on your knees or
Yes.
anything like that. You can just talk to him throughout the day. And I think that when you can do that, and you can even just be like driving somewhere and be like, it is such a beautiful day. Thank you for this day, Lord. And just like
Yeah.
keep going. It just makes a huge difference. It makes you appreciate so many things around you.
That's so good. So as we get ready to, you know, wind down and wrap up soon, what are some future endeavors that you have? Like, what are some ideas that you want to accomplish or things you want to do?
You know, outside of, I guess, fitness, I really
Yeah.
would like to start painting more. Painting is
Mm.
something that I've loved to do ever since I was a little girl. My mom still has like little drawings up that I did of of dogs and all these things are at our house. And so one thing that I really want to take some more time to do is paint and draw and set a time, like even just 30 minutes a week or an hour a week to just be creative with that, because it is something that's just a part of who I am.
That's awesome. Again, another thing we have in common because I'm a sketch artist. I love to draw.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember that.
yeah, and it's peaceful for me.
Yeah.
And whenever I do get a chance, I get more of a chance now because the kids are wanting to do that.
Yeah.
So we try to implement a creative hour.
And then you start taking over the crayons and you're like, wait, let me
I
show
know. No, let me get that. Let me see that. They're like, Dad, no, those are ours. Who bought them for you guys?
you. I know my one of my best friends, she has little girls, and I'm always like, "Oh, do you want me to help you color that in?" And they're like, "No," and I'm like, "Please."
I know, I get it. I get it. I think that's great. I was just talking to my wife about that. I want to be able to spend more time
Yeah,
devoted to kind of that creative outlet. And there's a lot of things I want to do in the sense of creativity wise. And
yeah.
it gives me life. And I think if that's something that does it give you life doing it?
hmm
Yeah.
it's honestly just like it's almost like a meditation. It's just like very
Hmm.
peaceful and everything like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Pastor Judah paints too.
I know. He has a whole art page
I
on
know.
Instagram. Yeah,
And crazy.
yeah,
I think it's awesome.
it
So
is.
tell me this. What would you say is like a favorite quote of yours or um, quote or even scripture that you live by right now that's kind of your foundational staple?
Um, let me pull it up on my phone because it's
Yeah.
a long one. So actually, this has been one of my favorite quotes since I heard it in high school.
Mm.
Let me find it here. And I read it at my graduation. I gave a speech at my high school graduation, and it has been one of my favorites. Pull it up. It's long, so there's no way I could ever
Oh
remember
yeah.
it.
But at least you know how to reference it.
Yes. Okay, so it's by Mother Teresa.
Okay. Leaning
So
in.
it says, people are often unreasonable and self centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind
Mm.
anyway. If you are honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The
Mm.
good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world your best, the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Well, it is my favorite.
I never heard that one before.
No, it's so good. And that was kind of like that wasn't the exact one. That was the first one that pulled up. I mean, that's the whole gist of it,
The
though.
encompassing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great way to end this podcast. Dear God, give me 3 people that inspire you on Instagram that you look at occasionally.
On Instagram, oh
Yeah.
man. I mean, Pastor Judah. I
Yep.
follow him. Um, and let's see who else. I follow. I mean, I'm just trying to think of people that I listen to on podcasts too. My mentor, or I guess the people that I look up to the most in life
Yeah.
are my parents.
Awesome.
And then also Zig Ziglar. He's a motivational speaker. My dad had me listen to him from when I was like 7 years old. So he's a
Yeah.
huge one. But I would say so. Judah Smith. I follow and I love Dr. Caroline Leaf. Like, she has so many incredible things that will help you just change your brain and change your mind to think positive.
Hmm.
And then another one, I would say there's so many good ones. This is the thing. I would say either Robert Madu or
Oh,
Chad Veach.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
Alexia, thank you so much. It's been
Thank
an
you.
honor and
So
privilege.
fun chatting.
It is, and
For having me.
it's so cool being able to chat with people that you just enjoy on a regular basis. Have a good chemistry and conversation is easy.
Absolutely.
So, where can the people find you? What are your handles?
So my Instagram handle is at Alexia_Clark. My website is www.alexia-clark.com. And on my website, you can get connected to my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, all of my different social media accounts.
And her TikTok, guys. Go follow her TikTok. You're hilarious, Alexia. I think it's very, people don't understand. It's underrated how hilarious you are. People don't know, but they got to get to know you and they'll see. Follow her TikTok, guys. All right, Alexia, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That is it for today. We all know the major impact happens after the show. It's what you do with the information and how you apply these gems. So come find me on Instagram at Andy L. Dooley, ANDYLDOOLEY, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. Also, please leave a 5-star rating and a comment. That helps boost the podcast. I'm going to start reading some of your comments on the show at the beginning of each one. Take a screenshot as well of you listening and post on your Insta story, and I'll repost it or read some of the comments on air as well. Hey, I look forward to seeing you again. Talk to you very soon.